So hi everybody and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 18 for our tiny game. So in this video we are adding a character to our scene, and of course you can use also the third person character template which is already finished, but in this video I want to really use a character from scratch so you see the basic setups. So the first thing what we are going to do is going to our content folder, and then we create the new folder character. After you created this character folder here, right click here in the browser, go to blueprint class, then select here the character. Of course you can write also here the character, and then you will see perhaps here more options, but we are selecting this one, or you just select here this one here. Then you select this one, call it what you like. I call it for example just test in this case, but I have here already a player character D, and then after you created this character, double click it and open it, and you can see this is a very base character. There are only base components here in the component section. You can see when you click here on the viewport, we have just here a capsule component. The capsule component has here this arrow component, and then the mesh which we can later add here in the details panel. Here on the bottom we have the character movement component. These are the base components which you can use later for all this kind of stuff, but here are many things missing as well. Compared to the third person template character, for example, there you see perhaps already a camera, a spring arm, and when you click on the event graph, this one here is almost empty too. This is just placeholders nodes, and if you compare this again with the third person template character, it should be a little bit more populated here with inputs and so on. All this kind of stuff from the third person template character we will do here manually. So if you're stuck anywhere, you can just compare it to the third person template character. So the next thing what we do is, before we go implementing anything here in the character, we go here down to the content drawer. We switch levels to the level which we created, our play level. In my case it's level 1. I double click on it, I open it, and then here in this level we go here on the right to the world settings, and if this is not open you can open up this one here in the window, click it, and here is the world setting, click this one, and then this window should open, and then here in the game mode which we already have assigned our game mode, we go here to the default pawn class and assign now the one which we created. I called it test in my case, and then you can press here play, and right now you can't move and it's stuck in this one position, and that is normal because we have not implemented any movement, any mouse look, and that is normal right now. Your scene should have here a player start. If you have one, it will be automatically selected. That's why my camera stuck here in this position. Okay, and the next step is now we switch to our character and we are going to create it. I just realized that for my game I'm not using a third person camera, and the question is why. Because first person camera is the easiest viewport, because when you have a first person camera you don't need a 3D static mesh. I can skip this part, and I make just a demonstration in this tutorial series. That's why I use here the first person camera. So we just add here, I show you that what we are going to add this camera here directly to this capsule component. And how we are going to do this? We go here to our character, here to the component section. Here in add, first of all we find the camera, then we select here is a camera, the normal camera. There are other cameras, you can read this later, but right now we select the normal camera. I keep the name with camera, you can rename it, compile, save like all time, and we have a camera, but this camera position is wrong. I just watch what I have here, 67 height, so you can manually drag this higher, or you can go here right to the details panel and write here 67 if you know the height like I do, and then you compile and save. The camera here, that's very important, you can see, should point to this arrow symbol, because this arrow here points where your character is looking. So the camera should look here as well. And if you are going to create a third person template, they have just here a spring arm. You would just go here on top, you write then here spring arm, then there is a spring arm here, this one here, you select this one, and then you attach the camera to the spring arm later, and then you would see here a red line with a camera attached at the end of the spring arm. And of course in the details panel you would then select the length, angle and so on. The next step is we select our camera, because there is just one option which we have to change. You go here top on the details panel, write use, you write here use pawn, and here on top you can read it, use pawn control rotation. This one we have to check because this one is simulating our turn. For example, think about it, I'm here, and if I want to watch there, we have not a body or a physical body or something like that. Instead we have the camera, so the camera should follow or simulate the pawn's control rotation. That would be me. Okay, now we are going to the next part, which is the input for camera look and for the movement. And instead of showing this myself, I link you a video from a content creator which has made this, and I have used his content as well. And there is one more note, he used it with just one axis, which means he is just creating here 4 nodes. This is not really necessarily, you can make this also with 2D. If you're interested in the 2D version, just write in the description. If not, there is no problem, because this one works as well. So after you watch this video, you should have something like this one. The camera can look around, and when you press WASD or the arrow keys, if you have set this up, then you can walk around. The thing which is here is not showing is jump. That one we can set up later in the next video. And with that said, if you have any questions like all time, write in the comment section. See you next video. Bye and good luck.